This is a quick one, Stephen. Bear for it. Brace for impact.
Hello and welcome to this Wednesday's edition of, not movie news, it's a television review. We're doing Loki, John, and we're on to episode 4. We'd just like to thank you once again for joining us here on our YouTube channel and of course our Twitch stream. This episode is called the Nexus event, John. Second shortest of the run so far, 48 minutes. I don't count it as 48 minutes, I've got to be honest with you. It's probably about 36, 37, because there's about 6 minutes of credits.
Yeah, there's a lot of credits.
And there's an end credit scene, John, that I didn't know about. You pointed it out to me, and it's baffling.
There's a reason
it's
why
baffling.
I stuck around that long.
Yeah.
Because
I
knew.
Mobius, I think what happened to him, John, concerns you a bit.
Yeah, what happened to Loki concerned me a bit as well.
Yeah.
John, like, what the fuck are they doing here?
We talked about last week's episode and how great that was, and it was the best one so far. I think this one tops that now.
Yeah.
There's a lot happening in this episode. 9.6 out of 10 on IMDb, by the way, and rightly so. Kate Herron is directing this once more. John, just
Kate Herron's been brilliant, Steve. Yeah, I've really enjoyed her directing.
Very consistent, John, and keep me on a knife edge as well. Before we get into this review, John, I'd just like to say though, firstly, this Sunday we will be doing our MBE Unplanned Live, which is our live Q&A. John and I will take your questions. We've already got quite a few from you guys in the community via email. You can also talk to us live on the day on our live chat, and we have special guest as well, Ruth Aaron, coming in to take your questions as well. So we're looking forward to that.
For Ruth, but I'm an 8.5, 8.
Yeah.
UK. I'm a 9.5 in the US. Stephen's a 10. So there you go. I'll get that out of the way.
So, John, without further ado, we will move on to what we're here for, and that is of course talking about Loki. John, Loki, when this was announced, I think I've already said this, I'm going to say it again because it's really important people understand where I'm coming from.
Understand.
You
gotta understand, bro.
Falcon and Winter Soldier was the one I was looking forward to the most. Then WandaVision, and then Loki. I was like, I could take it or leave it. Loki's a very 2D character to me. Not anymore. WandaVision is my number 1. Loki's my number 2, and Falcon and Winter Soldier is now my number 3. So, John, you just don't know what to expect with this.
Steve, the big issue with Falcon and Winter Soldier for me was the complete underutilising of Bucky Barnes. Yeah. I mean, when you don't use Robert Buchanan, it's Robert Buchanan, isn't it?
It's
James Buchanan.
James
Buchanan. I always confuse me. Bucky, James Buchanan, it's Bucky Buchanan. When you don't use that character as much as you should in that series, and look, it was fine. It was about Sam Wilson picking up the shield and stepping into the vacuum left by the great Steve Rogers. That's fine. It's got to be about him if we get future seasons, and I'm absolutely certain we will. I'm sure they will look into James Buchanan quite a bit more, but I think that was the one great for a lot of people. It was a little bit too Sam. There wasn't enough James. There wasn't enough Bucky, and that guy's been through some shit. And I did enjoy what they did with him, but not enough. So for me, that marks it down a bit. I'm with you, Steve, and I think WandaVision was the best, just for the zaniness of it. Yeah. Taking a risk, doing something different. Yeah, you've never seen an MCU product like that. And then for me, Loki is slowly but surely starting to grow. The first couple of episodes, a little bit slow, expanding out this crazy world, the TVA, Mobius, Loki, their interactions. Then we bring in Sylvie. It's slowly starting to grow, Stephen. We're getting into these last 2 episodes. Shit's going to hit the fan big time. Who the fuck are the Time Lords? Why was there android versions of them sitting in thrones? Timekeepers, sorry, I keep calling them Time Lords. I'm clear. It's Stephen, this reeks a Doctor Who for me.
It does, yeah.
Just the actual theme. See, when they were doing the what happened last week thing, I'm like, this is Doctor Who. It's Doctor Who, so I apologise, it won't be the last time.
Would it be if Tom Hiddleston was a Doctor Who at some stage? But I think he's maybe too big for that now.
Yeah, maybe the later stages of his career he could go in and do it, I think he'd be a great Doctor Who. Yeah. Great Time Lord. He's got that vibe. He's tall, he's lanky, he's got the hair. Can imagine him doing a sort of Tom Baker. Is that what he's called?
Yeah. John, even Sophia Di Martino would be a great Doctor.
She would, yeah, Stephen. She reminds me of Doctor Who, the current Doctor Who.
The current one, yeah.
So, I think she would. Stephen, it's got that vibe for me. It's got that sort of Doctor Who sci-fi vibe to me. And what's the name of the instrument?
The theremin.
The theremin, it's just crazy. I love it. I love the theme. Absolutely love the theme.
That seems to be the theme, John, throughout this television series. Is the main instrument is the theremin.
Stephen, though, getting into this episode, man, Bolden, really, for me, this was the tipping point. Obviously, we have some things happening, some characters being pruned, as you like to say.
I didn't know what that meant, John.
Yeah, pruned just...
But we found out at the end.
Yeah, we assumed that was taking them out of existence.
Yeah.
Dealing with these rogue variants and just variants in general, because the TVA is littered with variants. But we find at the end it's taking them off to some crazy Willow verse. I was just waiting on Warwick Davis coming out at the end. I actually thought it was Warwick Davis with the alligator, with the Loki
That's a strange
thing.
one. Yeah.
What is the symbolism there? We'll get into that, Stephen. I've not got a fucking clue. I've not read up on it. I want to leave it fresh. I'll start diving into theories after this. But
It's a multiverse.
Was it a black bolt for?
Yeah, I think it was, yeah. Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
For it's certainly changing and subverting my expectations. For has always been a golden blue-eyed boy, a Norse god. And that'd be a different universe. And Richard E. Grant's playing Loki.
That's definitely Richard
That was
Grant,
the old school Loki outfit, Stephen, incidentally,
Yeah.
wasn't it? That was the old school comic outfit he had on, the horns and the sort
It's
of...
funny, John, because when I first...
Because we did that in WandaVision.
Yeah,
we
when
got
I
the old school outfits.
first saw Tom Hiddleston, it probably was one of the early MCU films. That's who he reminded me of. I went, he's a young
Richard E. Grant. Got the forehead, yeah.
It's the same.
The hair's never went.
Yeah.
Richard, sadly, his hair has went, but he's still clinging on, better than me. Well, if I grew my hair out, it'd probably be like Richard E. Grant, but I'm just not doing it, because I can't do that myself. Stephen, this episode was very interesting, though. I loved the little flashback of Sylvie at the start. Thought that was brilliant. It really allowed you to bond even more to the character.
It didn't click with me that's who it was
until
later on.
Yeah, because I just found it so interesting.
Yeah.
She was a little kid playing with her toys in Asgard. She gets whisked off with the TVA. No real explanation as to why they take her. She asks, whatever her name is, I keep calling her Rena. I don't know if it's Ravenna. Ravenna.
Yeah, it's
Ravenna.
I think it's Ravenna.
Ravonna.
Ravonna.
She asked her why. What was the event? What was the whatever the hell you call it, man?
It's the fact that she just disregarded it, John. I can't remember.
Nexus moment.
No.
I don't know. What was it? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't like that character.
It didn't mean anything to her, John.
Yeah, I don't like that character.
Little girl. Yeah.
She just rubs me up the wrong way. She's rubbed me up the wrong way from the very start. And I've just felt from the very start she has an ulterior motive. And I think it will be fleshed out in the next episode. Stephen, you think yourself this will be primarily a Sylvie and Ravenna, whatever the fuck her name is.
I think so.
Episode 5. And I tend to agree with you, Stephen. It's going to flesh out a lot of the motivations of the TVA. Who's the real timekeepers? What is their motivations? Is it Kang? Does she have a relationship with Kang? I think this will be fleshed out in this next episode. We'll get a bit of Loki as well and his joints with Richard E. Grant and this strange medieval Asgard, it looks like.
It's a strange one, yeah.
It is, Stephen. I'm absolutely bamboozled by it, but we'll get into that. I loved the flashback though. I thought it was brilliant, and again, it shows you that this time the Variants Authority, they have no morals. They don't care if it's a little kid or an older person. They will just whisk them off. It's a rogue variant. Get them out, scrub it. But I thought it was interesting that she actually let her go. It looked like she let her go in the court. But who's the next case? And she almost gets away from her too easy. But I think that's to perhaps show that Sylvie's a little bit... What would you call it? There's a word for it. Precocious. She's a precocious talent at that point. Is that the right word? I don't know. A talent beyond her years. I think that's what it means, precocious. That she gets away. She has this mischievousness, even at a young 6, 7, 8, whatever age she is there. She gets away. She uses the little thing and she's on the run from that point onwards. An important little scene for me. I thought it was good. And I loved the shot of the fake timekeepers. I've put fake in brackets because we now know they are not the real timekeepers.
John, it's
the
funny
way they appear.
Yeah,
it
cool. It was early on in the episode as well, which shocked me because I thought they're not going to reveal them too early on in the episode, are they? They did. Well, they didn't really, but their presence was there, John, and it was a wide shot of these.
Such a cool shot the way they came
figures,
in. But Stephen, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're fake. Fuck me, I'm glad they're fake.
Fake news.
Yeah. They weren't great, were they? Let's be honest. They had lisps. They had speech impediments. And I'm not downing people who have speech impediments. That's absolutely fine. Nothing you can do about it.
John, it was like the old Davros from the old Doctor Who. We're going back to Doctor Who again. The old, the one that was the leader of the Daleks, the sort of rubber face thing that had half a Dalek's body. It was like a kind of spitting image puppet. That's what they were like. Yeah. It was terrible.
Weird. Yeah, it was Steven's spitting image. That's exactly what it was like. It was like a spitting image of Star Wars mixed with Marvel. Fucking weird. And I'm glad they're not real. But we'll get into that in depth. I'm absolutely certain.
You're not real.
You're not real. Big grey thing chased me up the side of a mountain and froze. That was brilliant, man. That was Star Wars ad-libbed or something. Bad lip sync.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking great.
Yeah, that was great.
I wish you were real. Han Solo's singing.
Yeah.
I like the way you. I don't know what it is. It's brilliant. No, it's an amazing group of videos. What have we got next, Stephen? The TV Soldier C20. Sylvie.
Yeah.
Obviously, she enchants her at one point in the previous episode or so. And we have. I'm going to have to bring her name up, man, because look, I'm just going to be.
Misako.
No, the actual Ravina. I'm going to have to bring it up. See if I'm saying this name right, Steve. Because
I think it's Ravona.
Is it Ravona?
I think so.
She also says she dies of effects of this enchantment. She's not thinking clearly. She can't even put together words at the end. Mobius is like, really? She looked okay when I seen her.
Yeah.
And right away, I'm like, she's wrong. I don't like her. She's she's for the watching in a sense. Ravona Renslayer, yeah. I thought she's for the watching. She's not telling the truth. There's no way that person. She was a bit insane when we seen her. She's right. It's real. I think she was saying it's real, but she ain't dying.
No.
They've done her in. That was my thoughts. But Stephen, this episode for me was littered with that little drip feeding moments for the characters. Not so much for us because we know they're up to no good, but for the characters, especially Mobius, and even is it B-15 Hunter B-15?
Hunter B-15, yeah.
Lots of little drip feeding eureka moments for them. But they start realising
this was
everything.
Her best episode, John.
It was, Steve, and I thought she was brilliant. There was a couple of moments with her. She's interrogating Sylvie. She comes out. We don't see the interrogation because we're focusing on Mobius and the Loki. She comes out and she's kind of shaking and she's breathing. Kind of like I was like in that reaction apparently. She's clearly been shaken by something, and I thought she'd done a brilliant job, the actress, man, of really capturing that shock of her whole world tumbling around about her. Everything she believed to be true is fake. Wunmi Musaku, I thought she was absolutely fantastic. Again, we see it. She whisked Sylvie off to that apocalyptic event, the hurricane at the supermarket or Walmart, whatever the fuck it is, I don't know, man. And she tells her, no, I can't create memories. The memories within you, it's your previous life. You see her starting to realise. I think she says, take me there. And she says, I remember these and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. Paraphrasing. Great acting from her, that's what I'm saying, man. Really enjoyed it. Stephen, what did you make, though, about the early interactions with Loki and Sylvie on Lamentus? I thought it was pretty damn decent. It, again, solidified their relationship. They've just met, and they've got this unbreakable bond, in a sense, man. They're sitting there, they think they're about to die on Lamentus.
Yep.
The moon crashes down, the shock waves start coming towards them.
It reminded me of the one of the last shots of Rogue One.
Rogue One, yes.
With Jyn Erso and Galen. Not Galen Erso.
Cassian Andor
on the beach, just waiting for their fate.
Stephen, and they came to terms with it.
Yeah, they did, John. They were at peace. And
she's speaking about, she remembers Asgard. It was a long time ago, but she kind of remembers it. Great moment, man.
It was, John, and it kind of solidified their relationship as well. John, it's funny because they're one of the same person. Mobius actually delves more into this later on in the episode about loving yourself, infatuated with yourself or whatever it was. I'm paraphrasing.
Stephen, he says a great line. I'll try and find it. I actually wrote it down. Where is it, man? Oh my god, where is it? What an incredible seismic narcissist. What a line that was from Owen Wilson, man. Yeah. Absolutely fucking brilliant.
Owen Wilson in this television series has been fantastic. I forget, and I don't mean to do this guy a disservice because he's a fine actor. I've seen him in doing series. I can't remember that film, Marley and Me, with the I think it was a Golden
Labrador,
Retriever, wasn't it, or a Labrador, with Jennifer Aniston, and it was a really sad movie.
Yeah.
But I've mostly seen him doing comedy. But what I'm saying is, John, this guy can act.
He can act.
And that sounds patronising. He's been around for the last 30 years. But in this, John, I forget I'm watching Owen Wilson.
Stephen, because he doesn't look like him.
No,
I've seen him recently. He's got the blonde hair back.
Yeah.
He looks much older.
Yeah.
In this, and he plays the part of an older, wiser man.
He does
very, very well. I'm not saying he's young by any means, but he's not old either. He's
but he's always had that kind of carefree, laid back sort of approach, in his personality.
Wow.
And this he's more, and this he's more dedicated to his work. He's a more serious person.
And he was in a dark place about 5-6 years ago. I think he tried to take his life, man. So he was in a dark place with depression. So it's just great to see this guy, wonderful human being, Batman, doing what he's doing. What he does best, acting, and acting with a supreme talent around about him, and Tom Hiddleston and all of these other people. Elevator, yep. It was such a throwaway moment for me, that as well, because I wasn't expecting it. I genuinely thought, well, I think you will make it to the end. I think we've realised they're going off somewhere. They're not actually dying. They're not getting took out of existence.
John, in next week's episode, I'm going to predict that Mobius will be in it, but it will be more flashbacky.
Yeah.
I don't think.
You think he will come back though?
Yeah,
I think in some form at the very end.
I think once
maybe with jet ski or something. I don't know.
I think once Sylvie and Ravonna have their talk, and they do the sort of explaining how things have came to be.
Yeah.
Sylvie will know what she has to do for episode 6 and how to bring Mobius and Loki
back out of the hell. Yeah.
I think that's how it'll go.
Steve, I think you might be right. I think we will pop more to Loki. I don't think we'll see Mobius as much in this next episode.
No.
We will go to Loki in this strange verse season. But I think you're right. She'll come and save him at some point in the final, and then we'll get it really hell to leather, man, craziness.
Yeah.
Elevator says, honestly, I didn't think of them as a couple in episode 3, but I think it's cute now, but it's really like Loki to fall for himself, basically. Yeah, he's a narcissist. He says it at one point with, is it Civ? Is it Sith? Is that what her name is? She was good in that, man. A little Lupin scene where she's beating the shit out of him.
Yeah.
That
was good, yeah.
Is it Civ? Is that what her name is, man?
Can't remember, John.
I think it's Civ.
I can't remember.
But he says to her, anyway, I'm a narcissist. I've actually got the line. I think I've got the line. I butchered it, of course. But I did say the line. Where the fuck is it? I crave attention. I'm a narcissist. I suppose it's because I'm scared of being alone. You are alone and you always will be. Well, he's not. He's got Sylvie. He's got himself. Yeah. And as you're right, it's almost poetic that this guy who hates everyone, hates the world, hates the fact he's adopted and he's not a true heir to Asgard, that he falls for himself, because that's probably the only person he can fall for, really. He cuts her hair or something as well. I love that, man. Stephen, that scene was brilliant. I really enjoyed that scene. Yeah. Just for a laugh, yeah. I thought it was funny. And he's getting the shit kicked out of it. It reminded me of Doctor Strange at the end with Ngomadu, I think it was. Stephen Strange going back and again. He's unbeatable, he's unbreakable. He just keeps his will against this big thing. He beats him in the end. It's kind of like that with Loki, but he's not so brave. He's just getting the shit kicked out of him and he starts to really just be broken down. But he's getting that unbreakableness within him as well, Stephen. He's kind of just... He's trying to manipulate things. He's sitting down. Look, come. And he's trying to manipulate the events. Mobius kind of comes in and saves him from the hell. But I love that scene. I don't know if you have got any thoughts about that continuing repeat. Yeah. I'm getting punched in the stomach, getting punched in the face.
It's the whole loop thing that can, if it's not done right, it can wear you down.
Was she in a previous movie?
I don't know, John. She looks familiar to me. I don't know. Maybe she was in one of the Thor movies. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Was she in Dark World or something? I wonder.
I honestly can't remember. The actress looks familiar to me, but I don't know about the character. But
it's Jamie Alexander. I'll find out.
But the thing
she was in Dark World. She was in the original Thor as well.
If it's done right, and a lot of movies and television series have done this thing right. You mentioned the Doctor Strange loop thing near the end of the movie, which I thought was
absolutely incredible.
Just
and it summed the guy up.
It was incredible. It was absolute madness. Doing something over and over again as well. I've seen before in a television series from the 1990s called Millennium. I think it was season 2 where the antagonist kidnapped men. She was a woman, and she kept him in this home, and she played this song over and over again. It was so creepy, but it was just on a loop. It was just constant throughout the episode, and it stuck with me till now. I still remember it. In fact, I actually think I might have YouTubed the music to it. Well, I don't know why. I've gotten for punishment that way, and it's still in my head. I'm thinking about it just now.
See, now I love those sort of concepts.
Yeah, I love that.
Repeating, being stuck in a place and
wearing the main character down, and that's what it was.
His name was like Tuesday, was it? X-Files.
Yeah.
The bank robbery.
Yeah.
He keeps waking up. It repeats. I love it. It's just a brilliant concept. Monday was it? I keep fucking it up. I always say Monday, then I think it's Tuesday.
It goes to Tuesday at the end.
Goes to Tuesday at the end. John, that was a great episode.
But Mobius said a line at this point as well. I'm going to leave him in there just now to marinate. Oh, great line. He was marinating. He was softening him. He was wearing him down.
Because he says, "Oh well, go back and give your regards to Civ for me." He's like, "Whoa. I'm not telling you anything." He says at the start, so you can just throw me away afterwards. I love that dynamic between Mobius and Loki and this whole TV show in general. But this episode, great to see them back again, bouncing off each other. Elevator says, so when Loki get pruned, he dropped down in that word pruned.
Yeah,
pruned him. He dropped down into it's like fucking sardines or anchovies. Pruned anchovies in a can.
Yeah.
He dropped down into a post-apocalyptic New York where Ultron has won, but Natasha was the only surviving Avengers. This has been rumoured to be in What If. Well, that's intriguing. If it connects into maybe What If, and we've got multiverse concepts getting explored within this TV show as well.
Yeah.
Where there's different variants getting into different timelines, and you're getting a brief glimpse of what's to come. It'd be intriguing. That's an interesting concept. It didn't really look like a post-apocalyptic New York though. It looked like medieval Norway.
It did, yeah.
Where it's like little dwarf 4 or black bald 4 and little dwarf something are playing around. I think the dog's farted again. That's not good. It didn't look like a post-apocalyptic New York to me, but that'd be an interesting concept. It looked very green.
Yeah.
But I suppose New York was green before and it will ultimately become green again if in a post-apocalyptic event. He's continuing to say, so maybe Loki will meet a variant of Natasha. Obviously not ScarJo. Only for a brief second. He will apologise for what he has done. Only a theory, but could happen. Oh, it's an interesting theory. I wouldn't be adverse to seeing it. I'm just obsessed with the actual character Ultron. I think he will come back. I don't think he's dead. I think we will see him back in some vein. I hope we don't spoil it in something like this though. I'd prefer it to be in a big movie. He returns triumphant. There was a lot of rumours that Vision in WandaVision, the white version, was actually Ultron. Because the last thing I think that happened was something regarding his left hand, and he looks down at his left hand. I think he loses it, and he looks down and sees he's got his hand back. People were speculating that. That'd have been incredible, man, to get Ultron back. Well, who was it that voiced Ultron? Incredible voice.
James Spader, yeah.
James Spader.
John, the only way I would want to see Ultron back is if Tony Stark's back, though. The relationship between both of those characters.
Maybe right, man. You may be right. I think it was New York because classic Loki has a fallen Avengers tower. You may be right.
Interesting.
That would be brilliant, man. That'd be something really cool.
Yeah.
Connecting all of the previous events, the Avengers, alternate world, Ultron, another version of Natasha. That'd be absolutely class. I'd like that.
Yeah.
I hope that's right. You better not disappoint me now. You better have your finger in the pulse. That better be right. What else have we got here, Stephen? What else have we got to speak about? I love this line. I butchered it again. I kind of wrote it down after the effect. It stuck with me a little bit. You know all the liars in this place, and there's a great many. You're the biggest. Why? Because I lied about your girlfriend? No, that I can understand. Butchering it here. It's the way you lie about yourself, or something along those lines. He's trying to tell him, you're a variant. They're all variants. The TVA have been lying to you. Your whole existence is a lie.
Yeah, but he's wanting to ignore it, yeah.
Yeah, I just loved that, Stephen. The ripple effect of that. He goes to speak to Ravonna. He doesn't really trust her. She's, have a couple of drinks, put that up in the shelf, the little trophy thing. Yeah. And he's not really having it. He goes back, he sees, is it C20? Her final moment, she confirms they're all variants. That kind of balances with Hunter B-15.
I still don't know what those little devices are called.
Yeah, I don't know what they're called either.
I keep just calling them Pit Boys.
They are Pit Boys. They're like Pit Boys of Marvel. They're Marvel Pit Boys.
Yeah.
But it was a great little scene, Steve, when the penny starts to drop for all of the characters. And then that ultimately leads to Mobius getting pruned when he goes and takes Loki out his Civ Hell again, or whatever the fuck he is. And Stephen, what did you make when Mobius get killed? Because it was very blatant. You'll miss it, man.
Yeah,
it was
John, I was surprised. I was more surprised at how calm he was. I don't know.
I think he'd came to terms with it.
But they only had that conversation minutes before. Him and Loki. Did you trust me?
Look at it as a friend.
Yeah, exactly. And then that happens. So I don't know. Something tells me he was expecting this to happen, because I don't think he was that surprised in any sense.
Maybe it was just a way to get the two of them back together again in front of the Time Lord, the time fucking keepers. I keep saying Time Lords, and make that whole event happen where she gets the Ravonna character in her midst, if you like. Loki goes to this post-apocalyptic place. Maybe it was deliberate. I don't know. Maybe that's the case. Do you think? Do you guys think that when Sylvie broke the timeline in episode 2, that is when Wanda heard Billy and Tommy crying in WandaVision and end credits? It's possible, man. Because that was a big moment where they're all fracturing, all of these branches are fracturing off. Certainly possible, man. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see these TV shows connecting the way the actual main timeline connects in the movies. I think that's important.
I think so.
It's not just a movie thing.
Kevin Feige did say, John, he did say that everything's connected. So
Steve, that makes sense, man.
Possible.
It's a little breach in the timeline. She hears them from a multiverse.
Yeah.
That would be very interesting. I don't know. It's possible, man. I don't know. We'll find time.
John, I always think back to I can't remember what the character in Doctor Strange was called. The Tilda Swinton character.
The ancient one.
The ancient one. Yeah.
That
conversation she has with Bruce Banner in Endgame in regards to the timeline. I always think back to that when I'm watching these things, and it's how relevant that is to things going forward. That was put in there as
and it's the same concept. Yeah, everything has to come back into place. It's the one timeline. It has to be kept sacred.
Yeah, exactly. And it was put in place there for us guys, the audience, to condition
sort of moment
ourselves for that. So it's great.
I burst into laughter when I saw the timekeepers for the first time, just because because I just saw a Kang lookalike in the Grinch and a fish. Yeah, that Grinch one, man. It's just the way they were speaking as well. They were speaking weird. I'm like, I had to kind of listen hard. And I had fucking surround sound, Dolby Atmos headphones on, man. I still couldn't really understand what they were saying.
I had concerns about their presence, the way they looked, the way they sounded. I'm like, this is a bit of a letdown if this is what they are.
Yeah,
I was so glad when they picked that head up and saw these little wires all sparking about. I went, oh, good.
Steve, what did you make about that conflict as well? That whole fight scene? Because for me, I says it was a little predictable, a little generic, and it's construct, all arty. Yeah. Construct. It was a little bit painted by numbers. I'll split off with these two. You fight Ravonna.
John,
you'll roll onto her, she'll roll onto you. It's all a little bit.
It was the last Jedi throne room scene.
It was, yeah.
Shite.
It was. But it built to what was necessary. Her decapitating the timekeeper.
I don't like that. I don't like that whole choreography. I'll say that again. Choreograph. I can't even say it. Choreographed. That's the word.
It's forced.
Yeah, you know, everything's timed. I hated that about the prequels. The lightsaber fights.
You hit him, and then he hits her.
Yeah, that's not how fight. That's not how fighting happens.
Man.
You know, everyone just loses their mind. You know.
Yeah, you get a rush of blood, the adrenaline.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not. It didn't feel natural to me. But look, it fed into what was important. The timekeeper getting decapitated. We know they're fake.
It was very Zorro.
Very Zorro. Stephen, I absolutely. I'm convinced now. There's been lots of rumours that Kang will be at least name dropped in this, or maybe even make a brief appearance. The fact that we've got these decoy timekeepers, I'm absolutely convinced now that Kang's one of them. I don't know who the other two are, but I'm convinced that Kang is one of these timekeepers. I keep wanting to say Time Lords.
Sounds better.
It does sound better, doesn't it? Lords of Time, Keepers of Time. But shit, isn't it, the keeper? But I'm convinced he's in there, man. He's manipulating things in the background. I'm absolutely convinced. Stephen, how can this guy time travel back and forth through timelines, affect the events of major battles, and become the sort of sole victor, in a sense? I'm pretty sure that's what he does. If he isn't the actual timekeeper himself, one of the timekeepers, he wouldn't get away with it. He wouldn't be able to do it. It'd be a breach of the sacred timeline. This guy has to be in there, man. He has to be. But I'm the same. I kind of laughed when I seen them. I liked the first shot of Ravonna getting in, and you briefly see them. I liked the sort of. It was like Snoke in the Force Awakens, huge, sitting up in their kind of thrones. But when you see them properly, you're like, oh my fucking god! And the voices.
Yeah.
You're kind of. It's kind of like that. Sean Connery, kind of.
Yeah, it was
terrible. I'm like, come on.
It was.
Use big important figures, man. You're speaking like that. But you know what it was like, saying it was like Disney. What do I think it was? Or Disneyland. They have the presidential thing. You go in, and you've got Donald Trump. You've got Abraham Lincoln. It's a sort of animatronics. So it makes sense that they speak like that. They're not real. Stephen, when Loki gets pruned, I'm like, what are they doing here? They've completely forgot about Ravonna with the pruner thing.
John, what do you think he's trying to say?
What do
you think he was trying to say to Sylvie?
I don't know, Stephen, because it gets cut short, so it's hard to say. He's got something big and important to say. I don't know.
I think he was going to tell her he loved her.
I loved her. Yeah. Probably, yeah. Stephen,
I think that's what it was.
Do you think that there's a future for these two characters in the main timeline in the movies? Do you think she can make the jump? Do you think they could be a thing, an item
John,
at the end of this?
I'm starting to think she's going to bite the bullet in the last episode.
Do you think, Stephen, that this could play into the events of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania?
I think with Kang, yeah, I think so.
Do you think this is a way to... Because, Stephen, they're going to have to bring Loki in to the main timeline if I want this character to continue. They're going to have to find a way to bring him into the actual movies, and they're going to have to do it through one of the movies. And it's confirmed pretty much why Titi says he ain't going to be in Thor: Love and Thunder. So where's he going to come in, man? The next natural thing would be Multiverse of Madness.
I know you covered this on Movie News and the Solo Show in terms of Loki not appearing in Love and Thunder, and I'm glad. I don't think Loki needs to rely on a Thor movie to have his limelight anymore. Yeah. This television show has proven that. We already knew Tom Hiddleston was an amazing actor anyway. He's probably one of the best actors in the MCU. His character, on the other hand, over the last 10 years has been very two-dimensional. Yeah. Because he had to be. You know, that's the way it was. But we're getting this television. We've got this television series now. He's been fleshed out a lot better. He cannot go back to the way he was in those films. He is a more rounded character. Well,
Stephen, you say that, but they kind of did that with Captain America. His movies, they explored this complex figure, this man out of time, his relationship with Bucky Barnes. He was this more multi-layered person. Then when he went to the ensemble movies, he was kind of the butt of the jokes again.
And everybody hated that, John.
America's ass and stuff like that. I mean, I kind of laughed at that, but he was a different character in the main movies from the actual Captain America movies.
I think purely
Again,
because, John, it's down to direction, isn't it?
It's the nature of the beast as
directors.
well, Stephen. You've got 40 characters in a movie.
Yeah.
You've not got time to flesh them out, so you have to just make a caricature version of them. So I'm not going to blame the Russos too much. Josh Whedon, I think he did one of them.
I don't think they'll do that with Loki, John.
I hope not.
I think they've invested too much time in this TV series to go back.
And Stephen, the beauty is you've seen that version of him now, so even if he is a simplified version in movies, you're always going to think of him like that. It's added a layer, and that's why these TV shows are absolutely brilliant for me. You've got people saying on Cinema Blend and stuff like that, it's too much, they're already exhausted by Marvel content.
Yeah.
What a load of shite. It's making it a more layered version of these characters we've grown to love over the last 10 years, man. You're getting to see them over an 8-hour format, a 6-hour format, in WandaVision's case, I think 5 hours or something. Yeah. It's giving you more time to breathe with these characters. You can't do that in big movies.
Elevator's not worthy says, I know everyone thinks it's Kang, but honestly, I'm starting to think that it's all Loki. Like, just imagine Lady Loki on some other variant sitting on a massive throne with big horns. John, that crossed my mind. It's crossed my mind a couple of times, perhaps, that maybe
he's orchestrating the whole thing.
Yeah.
He's a step ahead. Stephen, he's been a bit too dumb in this for me.
Yeah.
He's been getting caught in the hop too much. This is fucking Loki. This is the god of mischief. This guy's a fucking god.
Yeah.
He's on the level of Thor and Odin. This guy ain't a mug. He's getting treated like a mug with Mobius. I said it a couple of episodes ago. He was getting laughed at and stuff like that. Mobius was pitying him. He's basically telling him, I'm lying to you, I'm using you for my own purpose. And then he's saying, do you either believe that or you believe this? You're like a little boy out in the
Yeah, but the only thing that holds me back, John, is those personal moments between him and Sylvie. That's the only thing that's holding me back from.
But they could be working. Perhaps another version of them could be working. It could be multiple Lokis who are running this.
Could be.
Stephen, I think it's. I'm beginning to think Kang's involved in some level, but much like I thought Mephisto had to be in WandaVision, but we're going to get Stephen Strange. Ultimately, they subverted my expectations. We didn't get it. I don't want to get my hopes up too much.
No.
We're getting them in Ant-Man anyway. And for me, it'd probably be better than popping up in Ant-Man, because I said before, that character's been the butt of the jokes of the MCU, Scott Lang. And he deserves much more. He's a great actor,
John,
Paul Rudd. So I'm glad they're giving him that villain.
It always does my head in when I watch Endgame and you see Tony Stark talking down to Scott Lang at his,
he's a fucking engineer.
You know, he's home, you know, when they go to visit Tony. And he's, don't tell me their whole plan is the plot of Back to the Future 2. It's the way he talks down to him the whole time. I'm like, he's not a burglar, and that's what he's obviously.
That's a word that's hard to say, by the way, burglar.
Yeah, burglar. I think John, he deserves more credit.
He does. And Stephen, man, he get treated like an idiot in the first movie as well. He was a joke. This guy's a fucking engineer.
I think
it's a degree.
Yeah, I think it's down to probably Paul Rudd's characteristics and that wanting to bring the best out in what he can bring to the character, John. But
I'm glad he's getting a more serious story though, and we're getting a huge villain in Kang coming in through his movie. He's earned that, man.
Yeah,
he's earned it.
Yeah,
he's earned it. And to be fair, I like Ghost in the first one, Walton Goggins with Jimmy Woo, but you need something serious. You need to up the levels for Scott.
Wasp was a sort of bridging film for me to bring the first film to the third film.
Was Lawrence Fishburne in that?
He was, yeah.
Yeah, he played the old sort of colleague of Hank Pym.
Yeah. It was he was the father, I think, to the ghost, was he?
I think it was. I think he was connected.
John, I've only seen that film once, I think.
Yeah, Stephen, a lot of the MCU movies I've seen once or twice. I don't really get back to them. The only ones I've went back to is really Captain America. The big ones. I mean,
Civil War,
Endgame. They're the ones I've watched a good few times. Winter Soldier for me is still the best movie. I'm sorry, it's still the best MCU movie for me. There was an actor coming from set shooting the film of Doctor Strange 2 with a bag over their head to hide their identity. My best bet is Tom Hiddleston or even Evan Peters. Oh, I hope it's Evan Peters. Fucking Ralph Boner. Come on, Ralph Boner. You cannot bring Evan Peters in to a project in Marvel after he's played a brilliant Quicksilver at the best Pietro, whatever you want to call him. Pietro. He's played the best version. No harm to Aaron Taylor Johnson. I think the guy's brilliant. I said it before. I love the guy. Followed him for 10 plus years. Since Nowhere Boy, brilliant.
Yeah.
So I love that guy. I think he's a great actor. I'm glad he's in that Bullet Train movie.
That line from Wanda as well, when she says to Evan Peters, your outfit's so kick-ass.
Yeah, it was great, man. They know how to fit those little homages in. So staying at what I'm saying is, I wish Evan Peters would get more. He deserves more.
Yeah.
It was a joke bringing him in to be the butt of the
John,
jokes.
I think he will. I think he will, because I don't think
Evan
Evan Peters would have agreed to appear in this just the way he was. I don't think he would do that.
Unless we get another WandaVision season that's confirmed that he is the witness protection guy, and he's had to change his name, and he actually is Pietro from a different universe.
Yep.
That'd be good.
I think it would be too on the nose, John.
As well.
It would be too on the nose if this was the Pietro. I think it's called Peter in the X-Men films. It would be too on the nose if he was coming in right into WandaVision episode 4 or whatever it was, and he was that version from the X-Men. I think that's too on the nose. But I think there's something behind it. I don't think we're finished with that character.
It can't be, man. It's a joke. Come on. He was the best version, and it does him a disservice. I can even speak English. But yeah, man, I wouldn't be adverse to Tom Hiddleston, because that would be a nice way to bring him back into the main timeline. Multiverse concept. Yeah. How else are you going to do it? I just don't know how they're going to do it if they're bringing this guy back, if that's their intention. At least we know Kang's coming. Yeah, he is coming. And Jonathan Major, I think it is, great actor. So I'm looking forward to his performance. See, everybody's saying that Agatha gave him powers with the necklace, but Agatha can't give people powers. So someone gave him a different power because he threw Monica across the room. Yeah, and he was quick. You've seen he was quick. So I don't know, man. I think it'll be explained. It's too cheap. It's played off as a joke. That's not like
Elevator Not Worthy does make a good point there. He's got the power of Quicksilver. Yeah. So
yeah, he's got the power of her. So I've got the power. I've got the power. That's what puts me in mind of Bruce Almighty. Monkeys coming out of
butt cracks.
Yes, butt cracks. Appendages, shall we say. Steve, man, I hope he does. I hope he comes back, man. He's a great actor. I loved that moment. I can't recall which movie it was. Days of Future Past. We were in the theatre seeing that, weren't we?
It was under the Pentagon, wasn't it? It was a kitchen scene, wasn't it? Yeah, it was amazing.
It's just the silliness
of
it.
I always remember you laughing so loud in the theatre.
Fucking brilliant, man, honestly.
It was the music, just everything about it. The facial expressions in slow motion.
It's because he had one job to do, stop the bullets from hitting your main men. And he's going off and pinging people in the cheeks and stuff.
It was becoming more elaborate than it had to,
yeah, brilliant, fantastic, man. But it just summed up the guy's powers perfectly, so... Yeah, man, I hope he comes back. Yeah, if we get anything else to say, the end credit, what the fuck was that? I'm hoping the elevators nailed it, because if it isn't, I'm concerned it's turned into a sort of Willow thing. We've got a dwarfish character.
You've almost got that sort of medieval Celtic music in the background as well, which I don't like.
And wooden, golden Mjolnir. Didn't look as though it would fine.
I don't want it to turn into a Robin Hood episode, John.
Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Stephen, what's your thoughts moving forward for this, man? And then we'll get into our overall thoughts of this episode. You've kind of gave us a hint at what you think is going to happen. You think it'll be Sylvie and Ravonna having a deep conversation, splaying out what the hell is going on here, the motivations and what's going to happen moving forward. Because she's going to have to impart something into Sylvie to then bring us into the finale, hopefully save Loki from this weird timeline. So it's going to be a big couple of episodes, man. I think they've built it nicely. I've really enjoyed the way they built this. WandaVision, it exploded out of nowhere, really. There was little moments, distortions in this Hex universe. Jimmy Woo tried to get through, but it was a little bit slow, then it exploded. Falcon and Winter Soldier kind of was the same level throughout. It never really exploded. We had those flag smashers. I wasn't really committed to them. With this is built slowly. It's like the Toad analogy. It's in the water.
I think we're going to get a twist. I think we're going to get a twist at some point. It might be the last episode.
You think that Sylvie will actually betray Loki? And he has to kill her? I think that'd be deep.
John, something tells me something else. It's nagging my head about Ravonna as well as Loki. It's a decoy. It's an illusion. I don't know. There's something alright about his character. There's a lot going on
here, Stephen. It's deep shit.
Yeah.
So we know it's going to have to...
John, probably overthinking it. It's going to be more simple than that. Because this is not the be-all and end-all of this television series. We already know we're going to get more Loki series. So it might not everything be concluded, in episode 6. It might leave us in a knife edge. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, Stephen. We'll round it up, though. We'll give our thoughts. I saw Captain America give a shield to Falcon, but when did Falcon give the Captain America shield? Give you the Captain? Well, I've got my contacts, man. I'm in with Tony. I fucking wish.
Tony.
Oh, I wish, man. New Orleans, the gumbos. I love my New Orleans gumbos. Louisianan. Is that even right? Louisiana gumbo. What a blend of Caribbean, as you like to see over there. Lots of flavours. Amazing.
Yep,
and that's where Anthony Mackie's from. He's from New Orleans. What a place. What a place. I need to go one day. I just love America, man. I love some of these cities, Stephen. Boston, New York, LA, San Francisco. all these places, man. New Orleans, just an incredible country, man.
Yeah.
Chicago, yeah, the Windy City.
Yeah.
There's so many places. Baltimore, unbelievable, man. Philadelphia. Where was the place that Rocky was from, Stephen? Was that Philly?
Philly, yeah.
Philly. You need to go and see that statue.
Get a
someday.
Philly steak, John, yeah.
Yes, a Philly steak, cheese steak. Oh my God, yes. Richard E. Grant is in the end. Yes, he's dressed up as the old school Loki. I'm going to presume that's old school Loki.
Yeah, it looks like
from the comics. It looks, because as I says, WandaVision, we had Scarlett's original costume, and by God, she rocked it well. Did Elizabeth Olsen, and we had Paul Bettany doing the original Vision costume, and by fuck, he rocked it well as well.
Yeah,
as well. So again, I like to see that little wink to previous things, a little wink to Civ coming back as well.
John,
what's a thing going on in there?
Something else it's crossing my mind just before we wrap things up is this episode we're talking about, the whole New York thing, could play into the whole vote Loki thing. It could be this is where we're going to see this.
Yeah, because we've not seen that yet.
We've not seen it
yet.
He
runs an election.
Yeah.
Maybe he has to become the leader of this place.
The mayor of New York.
He's clearly going to spend time in this place, Stephen.
Yeah.
Because I think they start pointing things at him as well at one point, and it's like, why me? I just can't believe they got Richard E. Grant to dress up like that. Yeah. I mean, look, he's a zany guy anyway, isn't he?
Yeah.
With that hairdo and the coats he wears and his thing that he does.
Oh, he was an absolute. I remember watching him in Hudson
I can't
Hawk.
wait for you to see it. I shouted, I stood, I cheered, I whooped. What is it he says? I cried. I stood and cheered.
I cried as well.
It's such a... I can't remember what he says. I can't wait for you to see it.
I think he cried at the last line in the film, John. Right Skywalker. John, Richard E. Grant, first film I saw him in, it wasn't with Nail and I, which is a classic from him. Which
he's a great actor, man.
I have seen, but the first film I did see him in was Hudson Hawk. It was a Bruce Willis sort of heist movie. It was terrible. He was in it and he was a standout, but he was such a strange fellow in it. I was going to say something else, but it's not PC, so I better not say it. He was such a strange fellow in it.
I've not seen it, Steve, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I would not recommend it.
No, I won't. Guys, you have gaming PC with RTX 3080. No, we don't. I have a 2070 Super. So I'm a poor man.
Yeah, I've got a ZX Spectrum.
I'm going to upgrade it. I don't know if I'm trying to get a 3080, but they're so fucking dear.
Not a 48K, a 128K ZX Spectrum plus 2.
I've got a 2070 Super, man, an RTX, but sadly I can't get a 3080. They're so dear, man. They're going for like $2,000. All of these fucking Bitcoin miners buying them up. It's a joke. You can't get them, man. I was trying to get it earlier in the year. I looked at the prices. It was like £700. I don't know what that translates to in dollars, but I was like, that's affordable. I could get that somehow, but not anymore. It's just exploded. So I'll just stick with my shitey little 2070 Super. I can play everything at 100%. It's all good. I've got a top of the range processor. I've got everything, man. I've got a great fucking PC. That's what I'm saying. But wait, that's going to round it up. That's enough of me bragging. Don't know what I'm bragging about. I've got a 2070 Super. But wait, that's enough of me anyway. What is your thoughts? We never even done my overall thoughts on the episode, Stephen.
Yeah,
I liked it. It was the best episode yet.
Yeah, John, I did it throughout. So
yeah, I did it throughout as well, kind of.
Yeah.
It was the best episode throughout. We get Mobius and Loki back. The relationship with Sylvie and Loki was expanded out. The whole timekeeper thing, the myth of it was almost like the Wizard of Oz. You look behind the curtains, it's not real. It was all done in here, and it's a great cliffhanger. My favourite episode to date. But look, what is your thoughts on this episode? What was it, the Nexus event, episode 4? What's your thoughts on this TV show as a whole, how it's evolving, how the characters are popping? You can comment below if you've got anything to say about that, or review, I should say, reaction in the brain. If you've got anything to say and you feel compelled to share it, you can put it down below in the comments section. You can also like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, and hit the follow button over on Twitch if you want to see more content like this in the future. And you will get it, guys. That's how you enable that process. But look, until then, if you do, you'll see me tomorrow, and me and Stephen back on Friday with whatever the hell we're reviewing. What's it called, Stephen? The movie? You'll see us anyway. But look, bye-bye. Shambles. I love that little shooting thing you do, Stephen. I was howling at it, man. And the reaction we put out last night, a couple of days ago. Unbelievable. But bye, guys.